What would you do if all crime would become impossible in 48 hours?
Hide.
Just hide immediately.
GTFO.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to expect you to be going to use the last 48 hours to take you out.
Yeah, me specifically. It's been a long time coming. I shouldn't have made so many enemies. I shouldn't have gone out of my way to make so many enemies in my career.
Finally,
but I did. The kind of maverick I am. This
wave thing makes it physically impossible to commit crimes. I'm wondering if this, like, does this extend? Like, am I going to be unable to use a bit of meat a couple days after its expiry date after this without getting violently ill?
Depends what you consider to be a moral crime. A bureaucratic crime.
Hey, I deprived Sainsbury's of the cost of buying a new steak.
Maybe everyone would become vegan, and they'd know all along that it was the right choice.
Oh shit, but the amount of rainforest we had to clear for vegan food, so nobody eats. Everybody eats what they catch. It's the only ethical thing to do or grow.
I guess it might turn out to be the case that veganism's worse for rainforests. It's yet to be proven.
It's yet to be proven, but you know that once McDonald's gets onto it...
That's true, yeah.
They're going to find a way.
Well, there'd be no more McDonald's because they'd all kill themselves. They'd realise it was the morally right thing to do.
For them, not killing themselves would be a crime they would be unable to commit. Continuing to be alive.
Crazy. Sounds horrible, but it's true. It's entirely true.
That doesn't cage you, it shows you who you really are. I'm Paul Solve.
I'm too old for this prick.
You can't. That really made me laugh.
Just remove the comma and it changes everything.
Too old for this brick. If I want my own age. We are dangerously close to the halfway point of the first recommendations month of 2021. And what's this coming over the hill? It's a dated song reference and also Katy Maydon. Tell everybody who you are and why you are Katy Maydon.
Why I'm Katy Maydon, because that's what my parents named me.
Monsters.
I am a friend of you guys.
Yeah, and, of the podcast.
Really freakishly, I realised that I've known you guys for nearly 14 years.
Oh, Jesus.
That's fucking disgusting.
I know. I was like in my bathroom brushing my teeth and I was like, hang on a cotton picking second. September will be 14 years. So that's why I'm here. I also have my own podcast, Have You Ever Heard Of, which is a history podcast. So, and I also podcast with Paul as well on Screen Mayhem. So those are also reasons. And also because they hated me so much that they made me watch this film that I recommended. So that's another reason I'm here.
We called your bluff on this one.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to watch it with us, folks.
My bad.
It's not always just safe Paul torture.
We gave you the option of changing the film because you realised it was 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
No,
I stuck to my guns.
Stuck with it.
That's me. And I regretted every moment.
Kudos, Katy.
I spent a lot of time playing chess with Katy in the past, especially when we were living together. And there is a move. There's a sort of idea in chess where basically you know you're not going to win, but you can just make it fucking miserable and unpleasant to play for everyone involved.
That's my signature move.
That's this.
That's what's been going on the last.
That's what this
guys.
whole podcast has been.
I'm
not going to win
this.
Oh god, Katy has recommended the Netflix original dystopian Grumblefuck, The Last Days of American Crime.
That signal freezes you. It stops you from doing anything illegal.
Who the fuck are you?
They used the signal to kill your brother. I want to use it to steal their money. What do you say, Brick? You a man who can help me steal $30 million? Because your brother thought you were.
Gumblefuck.
I'm Jonathan Gumblefuck, and welcome.
Sounds like a
my
sounds like a Pokemon.
Gumblefuck.
Go Gumblefuck.
Use Gumblefuck. It's everything about him. Directed by the anticlimactically named Olivia Megaton, who also brought you Transporter 3, Taken 2 and 3, and Columbiana.
Wow.
He released that this year, so he's still getting work. Still getting work regularly. Whilst Lynn Ramsey struggles to get funding. Sorry, I'm still not over last week. Still pissed off.
You've never, in a way, you've never been over last week.
Long before it happened.
Yeah.
Megaton was born 20 years to the day after Hiroshima, and so he called himself that. He was born in France.
Wait, is that true?
Yeah. That's why he calls himself that. His real name is
Wait,
something
what?
like Ferreros. Yeah.
Well,
That's really fucked
stupid.
up.
I'm like a mega... Dude, a lot of people died.
Like, so many people.
You can really see the influence of that atrocity on his work.
Oh, God.
What's that? Not bland enough? Alright, well, it was written by the guy who wrote Oblivion and November Man, starring Pierce Brosnan.
Ooh, I didn't know that one.
Ooh.
Is that an OGT potential?
Oh, Christ, probably. I don't think we've had a Pierce Brosnan on yet.
No, and there should be,
Are
surely.
you sure?
Definitely.
It's been 4 years.
He's probably snuck his way in at some point.
Oh, I think he was in something.
Oh, maybe he might be a one-man or something.
Yeah, I think he's a one.
Do you guys not keep a spreadsheet? I assumed you had a spreadsheet.
I do have a spreadsheet. I could check it right now, but I am
That's just
being
not.
a host guy.
Not gonna.
Alright, if you guys can vamp for like 12 seconds, I can find out if Pierce Brosnan is.
I was bringing up Rotten Tomatoes to see this, surely. I was trying to remember what I'd seen him in that was shit, but it was The World's End, I think. 89%.
David Hyde Pierce, Wendell Pierce, Freddie Pierce. I really should have looked for Brosnan. No, I'm back to
No?
David Hyde Pierce, as we all must do at
Okay.
some stage. No, not even a one-man.
Wow. Well, that's something to shoot for. You know, if you guys want a challenge.
Well, I've now
Yeah.
mentioned him in relation to this film, so I think that counts as one at least.
You can't just throw out, like, names.
You
then just be
literally
like,
can.
"Oh."
Pamela Anderson was a three-man for no reason, for a very long time.
He's in a lot of bad films, Paul. We can.
Fuck yeah. We can go out
You
of
can
our way
find
to
one.
fuck over Pierce Brosnan this year. That's our resolution.
I actually really love Pierce Brosnan. Let's leave him alone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but fuck that guy. Love him, but come on.
Come on.
Yeah, we love him, but do you know how many times we've had Michael Fassbender on the podcast?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
And I love that man. He's
Yeah,
in many
I
bad
do
films.
love him. And we were in the room with him one time, weren't we? So,
Oh,
That's
yeah,
true.
all of us.
yeah, all of us and him.
It was huge in every
Yeah.
sense. In every sense of the word it.
There was so much sexual tension. I can't even describe it.
And then I left. And, it
And
was
then it all
much
went.
easier to focus on Michael Fassbender.
Still been looking for you.
Critics weren't really up for this one. Not fans. Could have let it be.
Really?
Could have
A
taken
bit
it
meh.
or left it. Well, you know what? Actually, they really hated it. The Rotten Tomatoes consensus is, this crime is punishment. Come on, Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh.
What is this?
You boys.
What is this all of a sudden with you, Rotten Tomatoes? You're meant to be summarizing critical opinion. What is... I don't like this. I'm keeping an eye on you.
It's a bit
Isn't right.
baity, isn't it?
It's a bit masturbatory, and
Bit
I'm not
bear-baity.
having it. Speaking of which, famous bear wrestler Johnny Aleksinski at the New York Post said, "Don't care about story, characters, or words, but love violence? Even you will be disappointed."
Oh.
I love that as a concept.
Even you, filth.
I watched this film, and even you will dislike it.
Even people who just have really, really bad taste in films will dislike this.
Yeah.
I love
Even
that.
I, the guy who kills people and eats their faces, disliked Last Days of American Crime.
And I love
Albert
everything.
Fish did not like it.
The public, meanwhile, you know, Penny for My Thoughts at IMDb said, "In an act of masochistic boredom, I actually watched the entire 2.5 hours of this film, so I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that almost every single scene in this movie did not make sense.
It's so true.
Every single one I love.
Every single one.
Oh.
Oh,
Seriously.
new scene? Nope, still got nothing. Still just shapes and colours to me.
Actually, hold this review. I'm going to the hospital. I'll be back to finish this after my diagnosis. I have synesthesia, guys. What a revelation. I really... That's great. I can now read you all of my movies. Terminator 2 didn't make sense. It does now. I finally get it.
It makes sense. I have synesthesia. That's what I took away from that film. Oh, God. The film has 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Do we still have a theme
Yeah.
for that? I think so.
It's somewhere, yeah. I'll see
Yeah,
if I can
hold
dig it out. Fuck!
It has 15% on Metacritic. Do we have a theme for that? 15?
No, I could make one, though. Fuck!
Well, for specifically 15%.
Yeah, whenever a film gets 15% on Metacritic, we'll play this theme.
I really want you to make that now. That'll be so good.
Yeah, I'm going to have to is the problem. As soon as we go, we don't have a jingle for that. Oh, great. Okay, well.
15%,
Sure, I can spare an hour.
not 16%, not 14.
No one cares about those numbers. I almost called you Ellen. We need more women on the podcast.
And, do you have a theme for that? And? You saying and?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's this one. Fuck!
And it has 3.6 on IMDb, because it's really hard to get lower than that on IMDb.
Is it?
It's really hard to get lower than 3 on IMDb. If you look at like the lowest
Wow.
rated films, for some reason, it always averages out at 3.
Because there are some people with extremely bad taste.
Oh yeah,
why.
there always will be.
Yeah.
It's the only place where Donald Trump has a decent approval rating. I'm getting topical this year. I'm going to make it topical this year.
Fascism.
I'm going to take him on. Robert Hobbs is a 3-man. He was police commissioner in Chappie, ape in Serenity, and police sergeant in this. So he's got something at the police and or ape about him.
Maybe he is the police. It's like with the army and Michael Bay movies.
Yeah.
He just goes around, if you're going to film in my city.
Yeah, that's it. Because it did have a few cast
common.
members in common with Chappie, and it was shot in Johannesburg, right?
Oh, in South Africa, was it?
Yeah, I think so. So I figure they just had some Chappie folk lying around.
And Chateau Copley.
And Chateau Copley was just fucking there.
For no reasons.
I really hope you have a role that will make the most of my strengths. Oh, this guy was only meant to be in one scene, but I guess we could give you a few more.
You were dead Patrick Swayze, right, in Ghost.
Shit.
That no one can see.
Okay, just one thing before we start. Here are some things that Netflix suggested to me when I typed in the word last before it recommended the 2020 Netflix original crime film, The Last Days of American Crime. The Last Kingdom, The Last of the Mohicans, The Last Samurai, The Last Airbender, Avatar The Last Airbender, The Last Stand, The Last Witch Hunter, The Crown, The Holiday, Friends, The Queen's Gambit, Modern Family, Big Bang Theory, Bad Moms, Suits, and Only Fools and Horses. Then, The Last Days of American Crime.
I literally had the exact same experience, but with the word American. So I typed in American, and it did not recommend this film. Like, I scrolled, like I had to
They
Google,
made it.
is this actually on Netflix? You have to type the whole title in for it to be like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess you really want to watch this, but at your own peril.
Well, this movie is un-American, Katie. It's harshly un-American.
Yeah, it's one of those commie foreign films. I think the director's French. And he's got a name that's some reference to a thing that America did to Japan. It's just not on. So they buried
It's
it.
just not okay.
The Eagle's dead.
Oh, God.
You know, they paid them for this movie, so Netflix was like, I guess we've got to put it on there.
We can't just throw it under the bus like we did Glow. Oh,
Oh my god, don't, I'm still not over it.
No one is over it. This whole
No one's
podcast is
no one's
about
over
that.
it.
So, Katie, you modern bad mom and horses.
Yes? Hello?
What's the one thing about Last Days of American Crime that is why you recommended it to us?
Why I recommended it?
Yeah.
Because I saw that it was like the worst rated movie of last year, and I was like,
Right.
if anyone can redeem it, it's you guys. That's why I recommended it.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, we're going to get right about doing that.
I wanted to challenge you and also give you pain,
Oh, God.
which is the two things in my life that I give to you guys. That's why I'm stuck around for 14 years.
It does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, he certainly succeeded in challenging us in providing us a blank canvas, practically, of a fucking movie. Well, speaking of that canvas, both of you, what happens in this movie?
Oh,
Fuck me.
you tell me.
Well-
Seriously, I'm still confused.
Synesthesia. I'm out of here.
It starts with what will not be the last scene of exposition. In fact, one would say it's just the first of every scene of exposition in the movie. We first get to see not Rafe Spall, who's played by Edgar Ramirez.
I put him as not Charlie Hunnam. This is very interesting.
I
okay.
I thought he was hot for about 5 minutes, and then after about 5 minutes, I was like, no, actually, he's like so terrible that he's not hot anymore, which was really disappointing for me because I thought that that was going to be his redeeming feature. However, I was mistaken.
We all have a level, you know? I have to act really super well to be hot. Some people have to act extraordinarily to be badly. It has been calculated that Keanu Reeves is physically incapable of acting badly enough to not be physically attractive.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously.
But not Hunnam / not Rafe Spall / not hot guy is his name is actually Brick, which is funnier than anything I can come up with, so I will just refer to him as Brick.
So good.
Yeah. So Brick the hero sets a guy on fire.
Yeah.
And,
Well, no, the guy
he
sets himself on fire, to be fair.
Legally, you can
That's
look it
true,
up.
technicality. Yeah. He dazzles a guy in petrol, gives him a cigar for some reason. I thought it was a flashback because the voiceover after that says a year ago, and then proceeds to give us exposition. But it wasn't. It was just
It was
the
before the
beginning of
flashback.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's this, then flashback, then back again. And in the bit just before the flashback, we do get to see that this is a city full of crime. There are people getting
so
tussled
much
about
crime.
a bit. There's a naked lady on a car. It's chaos.
Yeah. Before the 3-minute mark, you get boobs, and I was like, this is setting the tone.
How else
the
would you know
movie.
that this is a
This
city
is
out of
edgy.
control unless there was a woman dancing around with her boobs out on top of a car?
I wouldn't. That's just
Freely.
normal.
Without harassment. Everyone was so busy with crime that they didn't even have time to harass this lady.
She's like, come on, harass
how-
me.
I gotta push this guy
Please.
around.
Yeah, a few things were thrown about. There are no cops around. Chateau Copley's here, though. Oh, gosh. What's he going to do? Anyway, back to not Rafe Spall.
Yeah.
They're all having a big party because his brother's going to jail.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is the flashback now. So, yeah, the brother's going
now
to
we're
jail.
in the flashback, yeah.
Now we're in the flashback, and he's going to jail, and the narrator explains to us everything we need to know.
1 year ago, Brick and his crew were gold. They hit banks hard and fast, and they were damn good at it. Brick was their fearless leader, but they didn't run the city. That honor belonged to the Dumois crime family. So long as the Dumois got their cut, they left him alone. Brick's only weakness was his brother, Rory. He was the heart of the group, and he was about to do his first stretch in prison.
They were in the middle of a bank job when the government tried out this new concept they have. Hey, this is a sci-fi movie. Kill surprise to me. It's an anti-crime wave. It's a kind of microwave they can fire off, which makes people physically feel... It's Clockwork Orange. It's Clockwork Orange, but quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of... I was really hoping like there would be more of this, you know.
Oh,
But
yeah,
that's-
like...
It's pretty much it, basically.
It could be in the film.
Yeah,
would
but
be
that was
interesting.
it. That's the only bit you get. So enjoy
Yeah.
the sci-fi while it lasts.
Yeah, imagine
Yeah.
a heist movie where nobody's allowed to commit a crime, but they still want to steal all this money, so they're having to, like, rationalize everything the whole time, and, like, yeah, there's an interesting premise in there, but fuck it.
Better to spend 2.5 hours on the lead up to that moment. So, which, you know, could have been done well. But anyway,
Sure.
guy
gets
going to
shot.
jail, but he's going to be fine. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
guy gets shot because he can't do crimes anymore.
The guy
And-
who shot him could do.
Yeah.
Brick hides the money that they steal. Then another one kills. Then brother kills himself in prison. And we're back
Yeah.
to not in a flashback. So
Also, he gets a letter that his brother had killed himself in prison. Is that really the way that people get told that?
that's how you get notified. You get a text.
Wow.
Your app gets updated.
I used to enjoy Post. Now I'm not so sure.
Be careful.
Hey Paul, just letting you know your recent gonorrhea test came back negative, but your brother has died of suicide in prison. So,
Shit.
So
But great.
I thought I'd just save on paper and
XOXO.
tell you.
XOXO signed Her Majesty's government. Well, fuck.
lots of
I
love.
thought you were going to say signed Her Majesty. Like the Queen personally sends out.
She's got a lot of time on her hands now. Now that her least favourite relatives have moved to Canada. So yeah.
So,
back
yeah.
in the present, he burns a guy in a bathtub. Then Brick kills one of his own men, and then buys some neurotoxin. It feels like it would be quicker to actually just let the movie play and sample the whole thing, because it takes longer to summarize this than the movie takes to just show it and like explain it via.
It's going to be the longest episode ever.
It was a good plan until Rory killed himself in prison and Johnny D sold them out. No money, nowhere to go. End of the line.
Johnny D, it turns out, was the one who sold them out for something or other.
God.
And it's like, remember in Godfather 2, where Al Pacino goes, "I knew it was you, Fredo. It breaks my heart." It was like that. We were told by the voiceover. And so he kills Johnny D. Oh no. Anyway, time to move on.
Yep, neurotoxin. Mysterious woman enters the bar. I wonder who it is, but luckily the narrator is here to tell us she's bad news.
Yeah.
Couldn't have figured that out.
Yeah.
She
No.
seduces him.
She was wearing like a leather skirt. It was like, she
that's
looks like
always
she's
bad
bad news.
And she seduces him by the age-old method of putting his hand on her tit.
Yep.
Yeah. And saying, I want to have sex with you.
That's how my parents met.
Do you want to come to this skanky bathroom that looks like it's going to give me some serious, like, venereal disease and have sex?
Fuck yeah.
It's going to yeast me up. It's going to yeast us both up.
Oh,
What? Sorry,
so
I couldn't hear
grim.
you over the sound of my belt unbuckling.
I really wanted to wash after I saw that film.
Oh god.
That
Well,
film?
meanwhile,
That scene?
the soundtrack in that scene is confirming that the director is a Guy Ritchie fan, and the terrifying implications of that really sink in.
Anyway, here's Michael Pitt.
Fuck yeah.
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 playing not Jason Mewes.
Well, he's here to be engaging, copy Heath Ledger's Joker again, and let us know that Brick's brother didn't really kill himself in prison.
5 words. I'm gonna give you 5 words that are gonna make your whole world go upside down. It's gonna make you take that gun out of my face. You ready? You look ready. All right, here we go. Word 1, Rory. It's not really a word, it's more like a name, but it means something to you.
Rory's dead.
Suicide, word 2. Something they wrote down on a little piece of paper to tell you how your poor little brother died. Which leads me to word 3, which is bullshit! Bullshit.
Yeah, what?
Say what?
Say what? Blah, 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 blah.
Say what? Yeah, so and if it couldn't get any worse, he's dating the lady. They're fornicated
engaged.
in the bathroom.
It's her fiance.
Fornicated on. Yeah, and Jimmy Darmody, he wants to use the anti-crime wave to steal $1 billion from the city's money factory.
What?
It's always $1 billion.
It's money
It's
hole.
exactly $1 billion. I wouldn't know what to do with 1 penny more than that. If I get 1 penny
That's when
more
the
than that, I'm
government
gonna be
takes notice.
I'm gonna be taxed to shit if you steal more than that guy. It's got to be $1 billion. Jesus Christ! I pay taxes on my ill-gotten gains. I'm the best criminal ever.
So, are you up for it? Says Michael Pitt. Says Jimmy Darmody to not Rafe Spall. I really can't tell. There's nothing about your face which is giving this away. Please?
Are you awake?
Do you hate us? Too tired for that.
Or are you falling in love with one or both of us? I might be Bodhi. Oh no, you're Bodhi. Oh shit.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Oh yeah, Edgar Ramirez. Are you supposed to have mentioned this yet?
I was going to build up to it in the plot, but yeah, at one point I did
Okay.
think, fuck, this guy's boring. I wonder what else he's been in. Oh, he played Bodhi in the Point Break remake. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh,
You'll like
okay.
that.
Wait, there's a
Great.
remake.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
terrible
Well, listen to
remake
our
we
episodes.
covered in like
Oh,
episode
God.
21.
Oh, then I definitely listened to it, but that was like 4 years ago.
It was 4 years ago. It was the first thing Nell made us do. Apart from Kiss,
Oh,
that
cool
time.
bitch. Hi, Nell. Love you.
I know, right?
I actually really like her.
So,
Actually,
She's way too good for you.
she's too good for any
I mean,
of us.
I've never said otherwise.
I know.
Well, look, speaking of too good for something, Sharlto Copley is here. And,
Yeah.
I hope he's playing something that really befits his talents. Oh, he's a soft-voiced, concerned cop guy.
Excuse me, Sarge. There's a lady out front, looks pretty banged up. You might want to...
Okay, page 3.
Oh.
Hey! You got fucking brought, man! I was shooting a pig!
I hope he turns out to be insane.
Well,
Kinda.
yeah. I guess sort of.
There are
It's
no
hard to- it's
goodies
hard
in
to
this
say,
movie.
really.
Can I just put that out there? There's not a single one who isn't like.
Yeah, this guy's just like a
Insane.
quietly awful guy. So I was just going to say, Sharlto Copley kills a guy in self-defense, and his superiors react to that as if he just fucked up the coffee order again.
He had a gun, Sarge.
Just go home, Sawyer. Go the fuck home.
Just go home,
Just go
Copley.
home.
Just go home.
Jesus.
Fucking
Seriously,
hell.
Sharlto.
every time.
Oh no, I'll clean up this guy's brains. God, what a douche.
Yeah. Michael Pitt has a plan for the fucking awesome trio, and he reveals that his girlfriend is the master hacker. She hacked the FBI and the Pentagon, probably.
And MIT.
I don't know what any
she
of these
hacked
words mean.
MIT.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
And got herself a degree.
Yeah.
You know it because it rhymes. He rapped it. Rapped MIT, got a degree.
I say
Oh,
rap
but-
instead of hack.
But look, Jimmy Darmody isn't actually all he seems either, because he's the son of a rich crime family, and which kind of
Yeah.
explains his acting choices. and he reveals that he wants to do the robbery to get famous, which is not a great thing you want in a criminal accomplice. I want everyone to know my name.
A successful criminal career.
Yeah, it's very much. It's a sticky bandit mistake, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the writers were like, "Wait, why is he doing this?" And they're like, "Oh, we've got to find maybe he wants to be famous." I don't know.
I'm thinking of hiring Michael Pitt to play the role. Oh, okay, that'll explain itself then.
Makes sense now. Let's give him long hair and just
just let him go.
Just let him go with it.
Planning happens, I think.
Oh, fuck me, it does.
You think this is where you went into a coma?
It's just hard to know because there's about an hour and a half of nothing.
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely nothing.
Well, I suddenly realised that Megaton's tactic here is going to be to make sure that the main character says as little as possible, He-Man style. So he just has interactions with lots of different people whilst he doesn't say much.
He has like 6 lines in this whole movie.
Yeah, he has like 6 lines, and he goes and recruits a guy who has an even more tenuous grip on English than he does.
Pretty house. Pretty neighborhood.
So you got an American flag in front of your house and shit?
You got it.
It's not your dream, Ross.
I'm too old for this break.
He's going to be their driver. Keith, his name, I think. And you know what? By calling him Keith, I just made the guy more of a fucking memorable character than the movie did. When I mention Keith now and then, you'll be like, ah, Keith.
Keith, nice one.
That's not what you got to experience by watching this fucking movie. I genuinely didn't know who he was when he showed up the second time.
Yeah, he kind of looked like one of the bad guys from Taken 2.
Yeah. Maybe he
Probably
was.
one of the bad guys.
Probably
Yeah.
was. People like to use the same actors.
Yeah, he was just in Megaton's posse. And, you know.
Sorry, every time you say Megaton, I just can't. It's like a transformer.
Megaton.
Hey, everybody, this guy's fucking name is Megaton.
That's why he has a posse.
It turns out that Lady is an informant. I've called her Lady. I can't remember what you were calling her. Lady is an informant because the cops have her sister, Brady.
Yeah.
And Brick finds out because he was watching it through the scope of a sniper rifle. Binoculars don't exist in the future. The only way to look at stuff is through sniper rifles.
Through a gun.
Yeah.
It's the only way to do anything.
Look at the eclipse, Timmy. Holds on a sniper rifle. Don't rack the shot. Don't rack the shot, Timmy.
For the love of God, what have I taught you? After Gran.
After you nailed Nan in a 360 headshot.
Fucking nice though, Timmy. But Nan.
Can't have it.
Sharlto Copley comes back in and he goes, I want to go on the beat with 2 days left before this. No, with like 6 hours left before this thing comes on.
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, sure, whatever. And he goes home, and on his fridge there's a picture drawn by his son where they're like him and his dad are both holding guns. And then he sits in front of the TV and eats old Chinese food, The Monster, and watches a cowboy movie, and he's staring bug-eyed at the guns. And I think, they're going to develop this, and he's going to become he's going to have the moral responsibility of the movie here, and he's going to teach a valuable lesson. So then,
did he?
So then Michael Pitt is dancing around without a top on, and then it's time for the heist.
No, it's not quite. He's got one more totally essential sequence where we meet his family, including the Godfather. And he's got an evil speech to give.
I own the bank. No more busting kneecaps for 10% on the streets. We issue credit cards and charge some fuckhead farmer from Arkansas 25%. If you don't pay, I send in the U.S. Marshal.
This is the beginning of the heist, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, okay.
This is essential.
This is part
because they have to get the warheads.
Yeah.
And his dad's gone.
I can't believe how much more interesting this sounds. They're stealing warheads from the crime family at the moment. Darmody gets shot. He blink and you'll miss it kills his dad with an axe.
Yeah, I watched it twice because I literally missed it.
I think they must have cut out the actual impact scene because I didn't see that. I just saw them cut back and he had an axe in his head.
There's an arm movement before he gets shot, and then you just see it cuts to him they do that shot sometimes in movies where they don't look like they're dying, and then they realise they're dying, and the camera pans out. He had an axe in the head, so he is dying.
He also shot his sister, so he's got a lot going on. Look, they escaped with those missile things that they needed. Essential scene. I'm so glad it was here. I really feel like I understand Darmody so much better now. Now that I know he grew up in a bad movie. So
it's great that we mentioned it as well.
That we stopped to mention it.
We spent a lot of time.
Next thing that we need to stop to mention is that Brick goes to confront Lady, because now feels like a good time to do that. But oh no! Bad-looking guy, I cannot fucking remember how he plays into this, shows up, and beats him up.
He's the goon. He's the mob boss goon.
Oh yeah, he was introduced the scene before last.
Yeah, he's a rough-looking customer, I tell you that, Paul.
It's like the Knights of Ren.
Yeah, the heretofore unseen Knights of Ren. He injects Hacker Lady with a drug.
Yeah,
and then he's gonna go and get a bit of a rape on.
Yeah, which can make us all feel great. You know.
Yeah,
good stuff.
But it doesn't happen.
I mean, you needn't have worried, Megaton. It's not like I was having fun watching your movie. You didn't have to go out of your way. Yeah.
Why are you so afraid of success, Megaton?
We have glossed over the bit in which Brick was surprised by the guy he burned alive at the very beginning, gets his nipple burnt, which causes mild annoyance. Then he gets rescued by Keith, and they have a sort of exciting car chase, and Darmody manages to recover from his gunshot wound with a plaster and steal the signal that he'll need later on.
Yeah. So that's all good.
That's the thing that happened. Yeah.
He stops Guy from probably District 9, the goon. He stops him. He throttles him before he can have his horrible way with this lady. Yep. And then he carries the lady. Fucking hell, too many he's. Fucking not Rafe Spall carries
Rick.
the lady out, and I think they have a bit of a kiss.
Oh yeah, she gets super horny after her ordeal.
He's like, oh, thank you for this. I'm sorry I called you a loser earlier. Oh no, it's fine. I thought you were joking. Oh.
Oh well, that's
Thanks
good
for saving me.
Yeah, here's a couple of lines here as well, which is good.
There you go, love. Oh, thanks. No time to make out. Darmody is here, and everything is ready for the big job. Wow. I feel like I've been waiting for this forever, but also nothing has happened yet.
Yeah.
Everything and nothing has happened.
I mean, speaking of, right, the heist happens and doesn't happen all at once, it feels like.
Yeah, the heist plan really was drive in, shoot everyone, and then blow a way out. That was kind of the whole thing. It's not like, oh, that's how the rats painted pink played into this. No, they just shoot everyone.
Yeah. They go in with under the pretense of selling ill-gotten gains back to the government in this amnesty that was going on before the thing is turned on.
Because after they turn on the thing, nobody would be able to spend the money because it would be a crime.
Yeah.
So it even guarantees against white-collar crime.
It's weird though, because the guy that they give the money to doesn't check it's real until they're already in the car, going away.
Yeah.
And he's like,
he's not a crime
expert. You probably should have checked it, when he gave it to you. You do. I'm as a bartender, you check the money when it is handed over to you. But this guy who's seriously.
Do you think this guy's ever worked in a bar or a service job?
Well,
or
clearly not. Yeah, because he's a
fucking
rude-ass
bureaucrat,
man.
am I right?
Also, there must be a better way of checking for counterfeit notes than setting fire to it. Oh, I guess this was real. Shit.
Ah.
There we go.
Every time.
Not again.
You light it off the flaming tequila shots that you've got.
Yeah. That's what I was doing.
Just before you let the patrons drink them off your body.
Yeah, Katy worked in Coyote Ugly.
Crazy horrible bar you work in.
I assume Coyote Ugly was like that. I didn't actually see it. Oh fuck! Sharto Copley's still in this. He apprehends the lady as she tries to escape.
Sorry, he goes like, I'm putting the gun down. I just want to talk to you. Tell me what happened. So she tries to kill him, and then he gets angry.
As anyone would.
Yeah, and then he dies. So.
So any kind of moral to the story.
Hubris.
Is dead. Yeah.
Don't try and help anyone.
Yeah.
Classic tragedy, Shakespearean, I would say. Fuck. The signal goes off, incapacitating everyone, but oh no, Jimmy Darmody is immune to the signal, and he kills Driver Guy. Oh, right. I guess he probably got immune to it when he was a test subject in prison, which they established earlier. Oh, we need to spell that out with a flashback? Okay, cool.
I killed your brother. Oh. Fuck.
Makes sense.
Well.
But a whole bunch of cops witnessed him getting immune to the signal, so they probably... Oh, no, they did nothing with that and let him go. Great. Okay.
Yeah. They literally let him out of prison for killing someone else.
We can't have him in here. He's too dangerous.
Let's just shrink the state. Let's just get rid of the state, Paul. We don't need it. And Katy, sorry, I'm used to being sarcastic to Paul only.
It's fine. I'm here for no reason. It's fine.
Let's just strip it back. Charities can look after our prisoners, and
I'm gonna run a charity dedicated to keeping the scum off the streets. I'm gonna have a little girl collecting money in a paint pot outside of supermarkets. She's fucking strapped. So Brick is very cocky about something, and I wonder what it is. Oh, there's an FBI guy about a county away who kills Darmody. I guess Brick read the script about that.
Yeah. The French have very good eyes, Paul.
Commonly said, they're like the elves of Europe.
It's how the 100 Years' War lasted so long.
Kept seeing us coming and kept running for 100 years. We're all historians.
Really?
God.
You guys aren't historians anymore, I'm sorry.
I got revoked somewhere around our Pearl Harbor episode.
Once an historian, always an historian. That's my motto. That's what my gran told me.
That's what it says on your mug on your desk. And I believe it.
That's what it says on your award that you got during your BA.
The award I got for being best in the year.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, moving
surprise
on.
award.
Have we got a jingle for that, Paul?
Look what it got you. Podcasting for fucking me.
All right, jingle for it. So, the cops don't kill...
Yeah. Well, they explain their diabolical plan to Brick, and then leave him to die, which I'm sure will be great. And he's just going to go ahead and do that. Oh, shit, the neurotoxin from earlier! It's actually a cure for the signal. All you got to do is inject bleach, and you're completely immune.
Hydroxychloroquine, and the rest writes itself, really. The test results, everything.
Brick proves that he is the only person in this movie capable of killing someone once they are inside of a car, which has proven to be absolutely bulletproof for everyone else so far.
Well, he ducked every time it happened to him. And the cops didn't. The cops aren't about to start ducking, Paul.
Never flinched in the face of crime. They teach you that first day in cop school.
Day 1, lesson 1, page 1 of the cop book.
Page 1.
Of the crime book.
Cop book.
Preface, never flinch.
Well, look, Lady kills Copley, who's been the bad guy this whole time, twist. And she blows up the signal facility and escapes with shot-up Brick. And they get to Canada, and he dies. No, not Brick!
But she loves him, she just said.
She loves him, even though she's only known him for, 4 days. And has had one singular conversation with him, in which she called him a loser.
I love the way you took that, you bitch. What? Sorry, I'm kind of psycho. Do you want to make out? Oh, I'm dying.
I am dying.
That means yes.
All right.
So...
Yes means yes, and dying means yes.
She gets to Canada, and the movie plays a cover of Personal Jesus, which I don't feel they earned.
No.
No, I was like, what are you doing?
And it goes on for another 5 minutes of travel montage. Yeah.
So, what do we make of the last days of American crime? Brick died.
You go first, Katy.
Do you want me to say good things about it?
No, just tell us what you actually thought of it.
It was really.
Do you want me to say
bad.
good things? No, tell us what you thought.
Okay, so the thing was, it was boring. I think that's the main
boring.
thing. It was incredibly long, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The Irishman is 5 days long, and it's fucking awesome. This is boring and long, and I was confused for most of it. The sci-fi that I really wanted to be more prevalent was just not there.
Yeah.
And the main character was a brick. He was literally
Yeah.
he had no lines, and even when he said lines, it looked like he didn't want to be there. The sexy chick was sexy, but she was it was kind of weird. I don't know if there was no sexual chemistry. By the end, I needed to play an hour of Animal Crossing to get over it. So that's how I felt about it.
Standard prescription.
Yeah.
I mean, that is so common to 0%ers. You know, we've reviewed a few 0%ers now, and almost always they're just boring.
Yeah.
Because the movies that are bad in a fun or camp way will get a couple of good reviews saying, it's shit but kind of fun, and it gets 2%.
Yeah.
So, 0%ers just mean nobody had any fun.
Not even the people making it.
Certainly not. Goodman, what did you think?
God. Yeah, for the most part, what Casey said, the dialogue was terrible, and it meant that the people who were actually giving a fuck still had really dodgy, janky performances because they were just having to phrase the weirdest dialogue and make it sound natural. I'm thinking of Michael Pitt, who you could tell was really struggling to make this good.
He tried.
And Chateau Copley, what a weird.
What was
addition,
his character?
Because he had about 5 minutes of screen time, and I was saying in the plot description, he goes from being this sort of bumbling
goody two-shoes.
ineffectual guy that didn't seem to have any respect from anyone, to then potentially being a gun nut and wanting to just get a last bit of vengeance out. And I thought, this was going to be, a very heavy-handed commentary on police brutality. But then he dies after trying to placate the hacker lady, and then getting in a fight when he finally flips and starts trying to kill her. Yeah. That was just nothing. It could have just been a fucking rando. It could have been any extra.
Yeah, it could have been just a security guard she has to beat. It was very... I mean, that's the thing for me. This either needed to be a lot smarter or a bit dumber. It plays a ridiculous premise straight with no eccentricity or fun. This is like a John Carpenter premise. It needed to have that kind of cult feel to it. And it doesn't have the intelligence to explore its premise. Security versus freedom, the value of morality when it's enforced rather than chosen, the idea that crime might actually be a part of American cultural identity and history. Yeah. It's just a bank job movie that has this anti-crime signal as a ticking clock, but the ticking clock could just be that the bank is closing at the end of the week or moving all of its money to a different facility. The fact that it's a microwave thing that's going to make it impossible to do crimes doesn't actually thematically play into anything. It doesn't explore what does the ability to commit crime mean to me in terms of my personal liberties and my own grappling with morality. It's just another movie that races dispassionately through its overly complex plot to distract from the fact that there's not really anything going on.
And they just add loads of explosions, and they're like, I mean,
not even loads of
explosions. I like explosions, but still, they don't even really talk about the impact on society, because the only shots you get of people are all these people doing crime, on the streets because they're poor and stuff. But there's no
The Purge had better fucking world building than this.
Don't mention The Purge, because that's my one better thing.
Fair enough. Sorry, good.
Fine, we're allowed to mention it. Shows how on the ball we are.
Fuck yeah.
You could have had a 25th hour premise, force the director
to...
It would have forced the director to make the character relatable, because if he was going to prison and wanted one last heist, so he could do...
One at least it'd be final heist!
You'd be forced to examine why he was doing it, but this plot, it just gave Maydon it just gave him permission to sidestep any character development. There was nothing. I didn't know anything about this character except his brother died in prison, and that was just the instigating incident, really.
That's true. I don't even know what he's... I mean, I know he wants to get to Canada, but why? Why does he not want to live in a society where he can't commit crime?
Everyone wants to go to Canada.
Yeah, but why?
That's the kind of thing. It's always Canada as well. The Handmaid's Tale.
Nobody's trying to get to Mexico.
No, seriously, The Handmaid's Tale, Canada.
Yeah, Logan.
The Purge, Canada. What's the other one? There's another one. Yeah, Canada. It's always Canada.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Canada.
Become Human, that is, not Detroit by
Catherine Bigelow. They would have all been happier in
implied.
Canada. Yeah.
That's true.
Subtext.
So he only wants to go to Canada after Michael Pitt suggests it to him. He's not like
he's like, hey, what about Canada?
He didn't have a Canada postcard on his wall and was like, one of these days I'm gonna make you happy, bro.
He caresses a Tim Hortons cup and just says, one day.
He's looking at some fries and a plate of cheese and a cup of gravy and going, if only.
Some pancakes and maple syrup.
Yeah.
One day, bro, we're going to make it together. And he scatters his ashes in a Tim Horton donut fucking thing. There's nothing going on with these characters. It's entirely arbitrary. And that's the worst thing a film can be, is when it feels arbitrary. What do we do now? Where do we go here? And it's not driven by characters or actions or choices.
Yeah.
It just feels so flat and dull. And the premise is entirely window dressing. It doesn't actually add to anything.
No, they could have just got rid of that and like you said, just make it like a heist movie, and that would have cut down at least half an hour of the movie.
Yeah. It's also way too fucking long. I know we've kind of mentioned that, but Jesus Christ, that is self-indulgent to make a movie like this 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's considering that you could have cut this down to about 75 minutes. The extra half an hour.
Just make it short. Just make it 10 minutes.
I should mention, actually, I did have a not name for the hacker lady, and I think it's only fair that I had not Leia Seydoux / Hilary Swank.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I see that. I see the Hilary Swank, actually.
Not Swank. Yeah, we'll call her not Swank, and we can retcon it that we've been calling her that all episode, not just Hacker Lady.
Her one line.
We'll dub you in every time we say it.
The one line that made me like throw up a little bit in my throat, that she said was like, "I'm just a girl who likes fast cars and big numbers."
Oh fuck!
And I was
yeah,
like,
that's-
"Oh
really,
god,
that's
this
so
is bad
cool
writing."
story.
And that's my character. That's all you're getting. Good night,
Made me
folks.
hurt. Oh,
It's like someone who just goes, "Yo, you know me, I'm so random.
oh
I'm
god.
I'm the
A
office
quirky
joker."
girl.
Yeah.
You know, I just like boys. I like hanging out with boys. You know, I'm just like one of the lads. I like playing beer pong. Ha ha ha.
I just like to speak my mind, you know. I like to tell the truth. Oh, so you're a cunt.
And other people we don't like. Well, look. What we're going to do now is we're going to turn it all around. And we're going to quickfire the things that we actually liked about this fucking terrible, too long, drab movie. So let's do that now.
Yeah.
Yay.
Quickfire.
There's a bit where Michael Pitt says, like, with the drink, and he says, "To the last days of American crime," like, holds the drink up.
He says
And the
movie.
main guy, the look in his eyes, you can tell he's thinking, "Why have I done this movie?" Like, it's the only expression we ever get, and it's like pure self-hatred, and I loved it so much.
Oh, now I hear it out loud. It sounds really bad.
I loved it so much. That was a great moment.
I'll say that the premise that the guy... Okay, we didn't really explain this death scene at the very beginning, but he's in a bathtub full of gasoline. He's got gasoline smeared all over him. And he says some weird science shit that means that...
We don't know how much gasoline is on your lips to light up. But there's enough in this tub. So if you stay real still, maybe this will burn itself out on your face.
Pretty good saw trap.
Yeah, totally.
You either burn yourself a bit or, you know...
That's actually an easy saw trap, though, considering the ones we've been watching recently.
That's true.
Whoa,
but it
whoa,
also...
whoa. I was all well and good before you started plugging another podcast, but I'm not excited for this.
Not having
on
that.
my time.
He could, though, have easily just spat the cigar out of the fucking
Yes, that's
door.
what I was
It
thinking.
was right
Just
there.
spit it like
Yeah.
really far.
You will have to decide what you want to do. Puh! Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Matt!
Well. I liked the weird dealer guy in the bar who gives him the neurotoxin. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
At the start, I liked his delivery of things and his voice in general. He's pretty good, and he was another. I like it when a foreign director fills what should be an American movie with loads of his mates,
like American,
and it's just
like Alien Resurrection, where suddenly fucking Dominic Pino shows up for no reason.
yeah,
I love that.
But yeah, but he was kind of comprehensible. I could understand him well enough, and he actually had a decent delivery, so that was nice.
Decent.
Beautiful. Decent.
I've got
Always
another.
on the lookout for decent.
I've got another really good face.
Okay.
Which is, I know, hard to describe on a podcast, but here we go. The first guy that you see who has the implant tested on him, like the thing, he has an amazing face. You know the emoji that's like a screaming emoji where it's blue and it's got his hands up to his cheeks?
Oh, yeah.
He looks exactly like that emoji.
It was Macaulay Culkin.
It was like that. I'm not even joking. And he was milking it. He was like, "This is my 10 seconds of fame. I'm going to scream and do the shock face." And it was a really good face, and it was enjoyable. I paused. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, of the two sex scenes, here are the two shots that I found to be erotic.
Oh, God.
In ascending order.
In ascending order of bonerdom. This is very much like... I can't remember her name in Siberia, acting opposite Keanu Reeves, where he's just given it nothing, but she manages to actually make it kind of erotic through overacting.
Oh, baby.
Whoa. Our lady does like a bit of that. She in the bathroom scene there's a bit where she's kind of writhing quite a bit, and it looks kind of angry, which is kind of fun. And then there's a somewhat mellower, milder kind of humping going on later on in the bed sequence. So yeah, those two brief moments I thought, that looks like a good time. And not an awful grab fest in a sweaty, awful bathroom.
But it was her idea, so more power to her.
Fuck yeah. Get it, ladies.
The hopeful look.
Get it in a horrible bathroom.
By which we mean an STI. When Chateau Copley just wants to go back on the beat, I just want to go back on the beat. His commanding officer just sighs and goes, "Oh, Barillo, and there's this lady who I guess she has the clipboard, so she's the one who decides what cops do beats. And the hopeful look Sharto Copley gives her when he thinks maybe I'm going to be allowed to go back on the beat is adorable.
Aww, that's nice.
And it does make me wish that he was in this film.
he was this film.
That they wrote a film.
It's right at the end where what are we calling her? Not Hilary Swank.
Yeah,
not Swank. Where she has got the ashes and she's like putting them in the lake. The ashes of Brick. It says on the tin 1999 to 2025, and I really liked that they put that small detail of making it in the future, like 5 years in the future, to be like, okay, so we know this is in the future, but it's in the kind of soon future.
Not too distant. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that they added that little bit of date so I could like be like, oh, okay, this could happen. Also, how is this guy younger than me by 10 years?
I was going to say, did you say 1999?
Yeah,
well, that's the thing. Hold on.
This
is the thing: is she's not scattering Brick's ashes. According to Wikipedia, she is confusingly, and fuck knows how she managed to get hold of them, scattering Brick's brother's ashes, the one who died in prison.
Oh. He didn't look younger than me either, though.
Well, French director. Time works differently over there.
But yeah, I quite like that little detail.
Yeah, that's a good detail.
Futureness.
Okay, I have two action beats I liked, and these are the only two action beats I enjoyed. One of them is them shooting through the door in the gangland sequence when they're on one side, they're on the other, and there was a bit of dynamicism to firing these guns and trying to shoot through the door at people they couldn't see. There was something kind of exciting there. And then fake squibs aside, it was a pretty decent car chase around the midpoint. It's
yeah.
I don't think we even covered it in the plot synopsis because it was so redundant, but yeah. It was, what was it? It was, I think, Brick is trying to chase after some of the guys who now have, not Swank. And so, yeah, there was some good angles, there was kind of Nolan-esque aesthetic to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And some relatively coherent camera work, so. And it ends in a good stunt
good
of the two. Yeah, it ends in a really good stunt with the two cars flipping over together.
Yeah, I sat up with that and I actually rewound it to double check, just to double check, and they did the multi camera angle thing, and it was almost cut too much, so it looks like an Assassin's Creed stunt.
Yeah.
But it just had enough of the the sequence of the actual crash and the cars flipping that it looked good. So when Sharto Copley, and again this bespeaks just the tragedy of his underused character, when he gets in the cop car about to go on the beat, he starts the engine and this music starts and he kind of smiles, and so did I, because I just felt his fucking gravitas. It's Sharto Copley's, that is, and I thought, oh, okay, we're gonna now find out what's going on with this character, and I got very excited for the first time and only time in the movie.
God damn it. You see, Sharto Copley, you have an obligation to use your powers for good. You can't be leading people down the garden path like this. It's breaking people's hearts. Oh, maybe something good's about to happen. No. Why would it? How would it? It's just no. He's writing checks so his ass can't check, whatever.
His ass can't check.
And Kill Bill specifically warned us against this last week.
Sure did. Katie?
I had one laugh. And that was, basically, there's a bit where Brick introduces his guy. Is it Keith? And
oh, yeah.
And Michael Pitt pulls his gun on him to check that he will pull the gun back fast enough.
Okay.
And then when they both do it and they both go to put their gun away, he goes,
It's cool. I can do it sideways, too.
And I was like, that was quite funny.
Yeah, he had a couple of actually genuinely amusing lines. He had one.
That was my only laugh.
I can't remember what he said, but afterwards, after the guy, it was a typical action movie bullshit of, guy acts crazy. But then after the guy failed to react to it, he said,
All right, give me all your fucking money. Give me all your money! You think I'm fucking playing? You really don't understand my humor.
Yeah, I really like that moment.
I think I remember that too. That was good.
Okay, I'd say the first couple of moves in the prison fist fight look good. When there's a flashback, an unnecessary fight back to the Flash moment. Yeah, the first little exchange of fisticuffs looked quite good, and then it was cut to shit. And that's great.
Awesome. When Not Swank is first meets up with the cops, one of them, who for a while I was just calling the Wire, punches her in the face immediately, and rather than flinch, she just goes, "Please tell your pet moron that if he fucks at my face, I have to explain it." And the no cry of pain was very cool, and it showed, hey, she's a hard ass. She's not
Tough
take
lady.
shit from no one.
Not anyone.
Yeah, not anyone, not the director. No.
I hope that's true. Katie?
I have one more. And I already mentioned this, but there are a lot of explosions. And I like explosions. Who doesn't like an explosion? Like,
Gotta love an
I
explosion.
mean, the one at the beginning where he drops the cigar out is like, there's no way that made that explosion.
Yeah, agreed. I did think that.
I was like, what? You just killed a lot of innocent people as well. Like, it was like the whole tower block went up.
Yeah, and the guy survived that, which is ridiculous.
No,
like,
I was
if
like,
just
you
a
are
fire.
DEAD. Yeah.
Yeah. If a fire had just broken out of the window, then yeah, that would have been more effective.
But yeah, I like an explosion, and sometimes like it helps cover up how bad the movie is. So like, yeah, just put some more in. Screw it.
Just in dialogue sequences in the background, I'd have appreciated it. Okay, my last one before we talk about the pit is that we all fall into the pit, into the Michael pit. She's with almost dead Brick, and she says to him, "If I tell you something, do you promise to forget I said it?" And then he seems to already be dead, and I liked that. I like the idea that she's kind of overly qualified this admission of love, but already it's too late. Like, he's already gone and isn't there to sort of play along with this. It was a nice sort of.
He was always dead, Paul. That's the twist.
He was dead the whole time. This is the Sixth Sense.
Shit.
And weirdly, she didn't know he was there. But then he comes back to life and is like, "What did you want to say?" And it's like, "Oh, fuck off, I don't care."
Yeah.
So, yeah. But for a moment there, it looked like it was going to be kind of a cool moment of, anticlimactic death, and I'm always up for that.
Yeah.
Because, hey, it tends to be.
I was a bit too enthusiastic about that. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I love it when you remember that life is meaningless.
Fuck yeah.
The family feud was so weird. I loved it.
Oh my god, it was so
when they all
weird.
start yelling at each other, and the sisters it just cuts to her, and she's gibberish. Just
You fucking set me up! You tried to fucking kill me!
What kind of sicko fucks his stepmother?
I introduced you to her!
I gave you the world.
You didn't give me shit!
Now get the fuck
Fuck
out of here!
you! You didn't give me shit! You gave her everything!
Oh, grow up, Kenny!
Grow up! Shut the fuck up!
I'll go to your party! Go to your party! You fucking bitch! You fucking bitch!
It got Auntie Donna weird, and it was
Okay.
It was just very enjoyable, and I just wish it would have descended into that a bit more. They needed the sister around a bit more often, maybe. It was the movie had a pretty good, like, the setup at least explained why there were no police around for the action movies, the action scenes.
Right.
I thought it was quite neat. I was using the premise well. When the burned man turns up again, I found that quite satisfying. Like, that was something that was early in the movie, and he shows up, his face comes in, it's all burnt.
Yeah, his face was
and
grim.
Yeah.
It was good makeup.
And I went, oh no.
That reminded me that this was based on a graphic novel, which we haven't mentioned, but apparently it is.
It was. I mean, I'm wondering if the graphic novel is, great.
Good.
Like, maybe I'll dig it out.
It probably is. It's probably great. I don't know, when you said Nolan-esque earlier, I don't know if you're referring to the speeding truck at the end, but there were like some front-on shots of the speeding truck, and they were sort of from underneath, or like from below, so it had that weight that Nolan often brings.
Cool.
And finally, the whole forced injection was awful. But I liked when Brick showed up to throttle the guy, the music stayed in that moody ambient zone. It didn't pick up, and I found it more effective, perhaps than the Equilibrium style, dan dan dan. It just kept everything in the same space, I think, and
cool.
that was quite effective.
Neat.
So,
okay, well, there's only one other thing to talk about, and that is the performance of the star player, the VIP of this piece of shit, which unbelievably is not Sharlto Copley, but is in fact Michael Pitt, star of Boardwalk Empire and Hannibal, a very little bit.
The American Funny Games.
Oh yeah, and the American Funny Games, crucially.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that movie where Eva Green gets naked. So there's something for everybody in his CV.
Wait, the one where she's working at like a school?
Oh no, it's the one where like she's in a
stripper school.
Oh, she gets naked a few times actually, but she did it first with Jimmy Darmody in that movie where there's a threesome. Anyway, anywho, we can't sit here talking all about the times that Eva Green has been naked. We'd be here all day.
That's a different podcast.
Let's just focus on this one time she got naked. No, we'll focus on Michael Pitt. Yeah, his great performance in this. It's not a great performance. It's a memorable performance. He's playing it for what it is. He is camping it up a bit. He's hinting at the sort of fragile kind of lost kid at the heart of the try-hard, gangster type.
Try hard, die hard.
Yeah. Bringing a vulnerability to it that would have been quite good in the male member of the fucking rap duo, Die Antwoord in Chappie.
Oh, yeah.
That would have fleshed out that character a bit, and he did remind me of that a bit in aesthetic. Again, there's some weird Chappie connections going on here. I'm going to get to the bottom of it, but in the meanwhile, Michael Pitt, he's good fun. He has a couple of lines that we've talked about. I like the way he looked shooting people with a shotgun at the end.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite dynamic and exciting, and yeah, he's good. He's kind of a tragic figure. If he had been fleshed out again, I can actually see how this might have been a good graphic novel. Maybe that's something to look into.
Yeah, I can. It's a really big idea, and the length suggests that there was supposed to be something big in there. I liked his introduction with the 5-word monologue. He was definitely towing the line between overdoing it, over-egging the pudding, and not. But yeah, again, Michael Pitt's delivery made something of that dialogue. I think
he was,
and I guess the dialogue itself was interesting. At least it had form and it was quite effective.
It was just in that midpoint between Heath Ledger's Joker and George Lawtall's Joker.
That's a dangerous line to walk. It's
very dangerous.
But we've been through a few of his moments as well. He just generally brought a lot of energy, keeping scenes he was in on edge. And the only other one I've written down for some reason is when he's kissing Not Swank in the club. He's just staring wide-eyed at Brick.
Oh yeah.
After he's like his weird sort of behind every great man there's a woman.
Yeah.
Spiel.
Yeah.
And then there was just something. It wasn't threatening the way he was staring at Brick. It was just nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was creepy.
Which I appreciated.
There's a great bit where, just one last bit about Pitt. There's a great bit where where they go in to give the money to the guy in the heist.
Yeah.
Where Brick is driving out, and then Pitt is hanging to the underneath the car.
Yeah.
And he shoots at them from underneath the car.
Oh,
I was like, yes, he's hanging onto that car with one hand. Yes, he is. Of course he is. Fucking weirdo. Loved it.
Crazy beats strong every single time. You gotta remember this. Yeah, and that's pretty much it on The Last Days of American Crime.
Thank
Goodman,
God.
Did anyone from the OG team step forward to admit having seen this?
Let's have a look. Katie, while I'm doing that, why don't you give us an OG team that I can reverb the fuck out of?
OG team.
Love it.
That's cool.
OG team.
Nine on Twitter. Do
None.
you know what, Paul? Katie, I don't think anyone's seen Last Days of American Crime, or at least
there's a reason for
wants
that.
to admit to it.
Because Netflix's algorithm doesn't let you see it.
It's actively trying to stop you from seeing it.
It literally is. I've never had to look for a film so hard before, Netflix.
While saturating the market.
Well, thanks very much, OT team. Right, let's quickly go through the one better thing. The one better thing.
Dun dun dun. It's Equilibrium, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It's a very campy premise. Over the top performances. Very on the nose, but it's consistent and it's pretty tight, and it's just fucking enjoyable because. I mean, we did do a whole episode defending it, I suppose, but
we covered most points.
I don't think it needs defending. I think that it's underrated in a way.
Yeah.
It's kind of culty.
It's not without its blemishes, but
it's not without its critics, i.e., me and the Equilibrium episode.
Yeah, I don't love it in spite of that. It's because of, but also the good things.
Yeah,
but yeah. In interest of brevity, I'll finish there.
Good stuff. Katie?
My one better thing is The Purge, which I know that a lot of people have problems with, but I do not. I love The Purge, the series in general. One thing is 90 minutes long. It is
short.
It's got the premise that is consistent throughout. The premise is bashed into you in the way that it's the opposite of this. This is glazed over. The premise is in your face all the time. You have 24 hours to commit as many crimes as you want, scot-free, and then the rest of the time it's like completely crimeless, apparently. And it's just like a really great, stupid movie about people doing loads of crime and the government like kind of controlling crime in a way. I know it's kind of the opposite of this in a way, but like it's just got that premise of like, here's a different way, and they really like just cashed in on it. There's like I think 3 films because there's
and apparently the critical reception. I've only seen the first, and we did cover the first on this podcast, but apparently the critical reception does improve with each one as you go.
So the latest one is the first Purge, which is actually the best one. It's the one I would recommend. There's also an Amazon original series, The Purge, and I've seen the first series of that, and it is really great. So I would recommend the series, really. But I mean, go for The Purge. Love it.
Cool. Good stuff. Yeah, absolutely. And check out our episode on The Purge. 3 really quick ones. Oh shit, there's 4 of them. Fuck. Okay, in terms of individual responsibility versus collective security, it's A Clockwork Orange, obviously.
Yeah.
For a utopian, dystopian masquerading as utopian society, as Minority Report. I've been thinking a lot about 21st century Spielberg recently and how underrated a lot of it is, and Minority Report is really great. Guns Akimbo is a really camp movie from a couple of years ago with Daniel Radcliffe that has a similar... It's really good, I think. It's it's good fun. It's, again, a good example of what this could have been with a bit more camp and a bit more stylistic flair to it.
A bit more Harry Potter.
It's a bit more Harry Potter to it. You've got to appreciate that. And finally, in terms of a movie about a heist and going undercover, and is feeling weirdly topical at the moment, I'm going to go Stone Cold. A movie that Katy and I have seen at the cinema because of Richard Ayoade.
No, it wasn't Richard Ayoade. It was Charlie Brooker.
It was Charlie Brooker, you're right. He recommended it.
Oh my god, it was so good. It was like... I've made Matt watch it. Goodman, have you seen it?
No, I have not.
Oh my god.
It's about...
the best.
It was an attempt to turn 80s football star Brian Bosworth into an action star. His hair is fucking amazing. Lance Henriksen's in it. It's about a guy trying to go undercover with a bunch of bikers, the leader of which is Lance Henriksen. It's extremely campy, very ridiculous, and a lot of fun. So,
it's the tagline. It's called Stone Cold, and the tagline is "Cold as a Stone." Like that's the level of
creativity, and yet it is relentlessly fun.
It's so fantastic. Good. You have to watch it.
Yeah, very good stuff. Okay, that's it for the One Better Thing. The One Better Thing. So, Katy, how can people hear about you and your endeavours?
Well, you can go to my other podcast, Have You Ever Heard Of? If you're interested in history, where we talk about people that you may or may not have heard of. I also have a history blog called myhistoryblog.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Katy Writes About or at My History Blog. I've got 2, whichever one. Also, I do other podcasts with Paul sometimes on Screen Mayhem. So while you're checking him out, you can also check me out. Yeah. So you check us both out because we hang out a lot. But not
our
anymore.
really hot profile pictures in which I am super buff.
And you can just follow me around if you want.
Yeah, find her. She lives at.
Here's my address.
That's weird. My mic cut out. Oh well. Whilst I'm fixing that
PO box.
Go to the PO box. She's regularly there. Yeah, and you can send all your various treats. Goodman, where can people find out about our treats, if you know what I mean?
Well, Bayard Hiller over at IMDb says, when you need a man's man movie, go with Stone Cold. But if that's not going to do it for you, you just need to go to Facebook and Twitter at OGT Pod, and you can send your Stone Cold vibes our way, and we'll just lap it up, because we are fucking desperate.
Oh, we love it.
Speaking of, if you do want to spread the word a bit or leave a review on our iTunes page or anywhere, in fact, on the face of a loved one, then you just have to do it. There's no link for it. Just do it, and we'd really appreciate it.
Live your life.
Is the best way this gets around. Live your life. Live your truth. It's worked out well for many people this year.
This year, in the last 8 days.
It's been a fucking crazy 8 days. I don't know if you've been around.
It's been a wild ride, and you can be a part of that ride at OGT Pod. And
but we have a Patreon where for as little as $1 a month you can get access to exclusive content. Comes straight out of the Paul's faces, and this week out of the Katy's faces.
All the Katys.
Doing a DVD challenge where she judges our worth. I've got a feeling she's going to lean towards Paul just to get back at me for various slights that she may or may not know about, that will definitely come out in the episode on Patreon.
Fuck yeah, you want to pay to hear about that? Oh god, and Paul Patreon.
I'm heard about that.
And I'm only here for this one episode.
And remember, the one good thing about the last days of American crime is that you can all take that long, deep dive into the Michael pit.